Do you want to intro or do you want me to?
I'm about to sneeze, so go ahead.
The A-List.
Welcome back to the A-List podcast. I am Allison, and across from me is just the greatest.
It left me. The sneeze.
The greatest, Alexander.
Woo!
Or just Alex, you know.
Either works.
What's up?
Oh, nothing. Just chilling. Look at my sweatshirt.
So cute.
It says
I like
Maine Lobster Energy.
It's cute.
Thanks. And you got your shirt? I see.
Oh yeah, this is my I Can Do It With a Broken Heart shirt I got from Etsy.
It is actually, I'm glad to know because you got that off of Instagram, so I'm happy.
No, I got off Etsy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I'm not surprised that it's like better quality. I was thinking it was an I want to know what an Instagram purchased print on demand shirt quality is like.
I mean, the person might be also on Instagram. I love to peruse Etsy, you know. This isn't an ad for Etsy.
But it is a great shirt.
But I like to be on there and just search different random things. Yeah. I also like throughout the year, I look for what I would get someone for Christmas or birthdays are coming up. I just like save a bunch of stuff for that.
That's smart.
Well, okay, so first we'll do a Hinge update because we have forgotten to do it twice, I think, or maybe just once.
Twice. No, you're right.
So if you didn't know, a couple episodes ago, Alex went through my Hinge and...
Well, I didn't go through your Hinge.
Yeah, you looked through it.
I went through your profile.
Right.
But through your Hinge I feel like means like I looked at guys.
Oh, no. He didn't go through guys. He just looked at my profile. Yeah. And we talked about some pictures. I made some changes based on... you know, your feedback. It was like an emoji change, and then I added a photo with my darker hair, even though my hair changes pretty often. So like, I don't feel that weird about there being blonde on there because who knows? Fernando will be here at the end. Yeah, Fernando will be here at the end of the month. Who knows what'll happen? But he also recorded a voice prompt. That Hinge has a thing where you can have a friend record a voice prompt for you that's like pitching why someone should date you, basically. Exactly. And so to report, there's only been one person that has replied to that prompt.
Did they want to go out with me?
They didn't say that. They just said, unfortunately, I didn't match with him because he was giving...
I got you.
So sorry, sir, if you happen to be listening to this. He was just giving like backpacking and like
elaborate
earthy backpacking vibes.
Okay.
You know?
I mean,
like long
it's different than
hair.
Magician vibes.
It just like we didn't seem like we would have much to talk about.
Okay, that's fair. Okay, but what did he say? Anything funny? He
was just like like haha, like love that prompt, like funny. Basically just like he thought it was a funny thing to do. He just wasn't like my cup of tea.
Okay, well,
but the other people that have liked me have not. They have mainly people like that picture in the middle of Times Square. Okay, I feel like that's usually the one that people like. So
where in your profile does that fall? Is it kind of in the middle? It's first. Oh, it's first.
Yeah.
So sometimes wonder if things like that, is it just because it's the first thing?
Yeah. Sometimes that is weird. Should I move it?
Yeah, I think move it. Get change up some variety. Give us a variety.
Yeah. Some people like I said, there's one that has I have a sticker that's like a hello, my name is sticker.
Yeah, that's funny.
It was at an event we went to and it said like good kisser, great kisser. So if people usually reply to that, it's usually like a little red flaggy unless they say something funny that isn't like, oh yeah, let's find out type of thing.
Can't wait to see for myself.
Some people there have been a little bit of a variety of other pictures, but I would say like the majority is that Times Square picture. So maybe I'll play around and move it and see if it's just because it's the first one. Like you're not even taking the time to look at the rest of my profile.
Or I guess like when I have been scrolling and doing that, like I'll go through someone's profile and then just go back to the top.
Yeah.
I've done that before.
Yeah.
Interacted with it, but
we'll see. And if anyone else, replies to the prompt, I will let you know.
Perfect. Can you fix Stanley's ear? It's really bothering me. Oh no. Thank you.
He dropped his
He dropped
toy.
Nate, the lion. Hey, you have plenty of other toys on the couch. 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 4 other toys. Wow,
he's so sad.
He's gonna start crying. No,
you
please don't.
Stairs,
do not
Stanley.
jump.
Oh my gosh. The people know this, right? Stanley
and
has
he's gonna knock
back.
over your camera. Whoa, good job, buddy. Get back
maneuvering.
Up. Use the stairs. Use the stairs. Right here. Stanley
has a back condition that is genetic that sometimes causes him to...
He has flare-ups and then he can't use his back legs very well and he's in a lot of pain.
Yeah.
We have definitely mentioned it before. So
yeah, we have.
Sometimes he doesn't feel like using the stairs. Yeah, do you not like the taste of that?
Yeah, when he's feeling good, he likes to jump up and down, but he doesn't realize that that's not good for him.
And all it takes is one time.
Yep.
In the wrong way.
When I watch him, that's like my biggest fear. That's why I was like, should we move your bed out here on the floor so that...
For when you're watching him.
Yeah, so that he can't jump down, because I'll just have your door closed the whole time, and he can't go in and out of there. And then like if he jumps down from that, it's like a shorter jump.
True. I mean, if that is what you would like to help you feel no stress.
I know, but you don't want to come back from a trip and then have to move your bed.
I mean, that's not that big of a deal, but he also is really good about using the stairs in the bedroom because he doesn't like to jump off the bed.
Yeah, it's so tall. I wouldn't either. Right? Like, imagine being his size and being on a tall king bed and looking down. Yeah. Like, I feel like it's the equivalent of like me looking down from like 5 stories up.
Or like your level on where your apartment is. Like if you were to jump down to level 1.
Yeah. Into the pool.
Which
you did put in the last episode.
That's true.
I have another funny story. So, like those ghost hunting shows?
Yeah, of course.
So there was one that went to my hometown of Marion.
Okay.
And they were investigating this woman and her husband made a submission. It was Ghost Adventures, I think, but it was like a spinoff of House Calls. So instead of going to landmarks or
what's
abandoned
house calls?
Like they are going to people's homes instead of
got it.
going to like abandoned insane asylums or whatever. They're like people are submitting in.
Was this on MTV?
No, I had to buy the episode. I think it was on
like ID Discovery or something.
Yeah, something like that. I had to buy it through Amazon, I think, because I didn't have anything to watch it on.
Okay.
But yeah, this couple submitted that lives in my town that they had a demon in their home. It's not funny.
Demon.
But
not even ghost, just straight to demon.
They were like, this is a like bad energy. And the woman, I didn't know them. So the woman had said that she feels a very negative presence, that she had a mini heart attack because it torments her all the time. Her son's room they put up Bible verses on the walls to try to, combat this. Yeah. And he woke up in the middle of the night and they were like torn off the wall and like on the floor, crumpled up. And so they were like, we really need help. And so the boys, went down to Marion and knowing the areas, like they did try to make it a little, like the town look a little, scary
more
and abandoned because where those people live was different than some of the drive-through shots they did where they were like, yeah, a lot of these homes are abandoned. And I was like, that street is not the same street that this person lives on. Because I sure did do some sleuthing and on the forums of Facebook to find out where these people live.
Well, they have to produce it,
Yeah. So I was like, I know it's a TV show. I know that they're doing that.
For sure.
But, it's... When you know the places, it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. You're trying to make it look, it's not like the best part of town that they live in.
Yeah.
But, most of the town isn't abandoned homes. There's just like a couple streets that could use some work.
They just had to produce it.
Yeah. So basically the boys did some, X-ray cameras and they
EMF readers.
Yeah, they had these like little lights that they set up. Both the husband and wife had the ashes of their moms in urns.
Oh, I thought like as to
just
use.
Out. No, just like they were like displayed somewhere in their living room, and they set up these lights around them because they were like, maybe we can contact your moms and they can help out. Sometimes demons don't like other entities around because it's like their
so maybe they
domain.
thought the moms were there.
Yeah. So they did some things with the lights, and they were like talking to the moms saying, if you're here, light up the things, and they were lighting up. Now, do we know if this is real or not? I don't know.
They lied about the streets.
True. So they concluded that it was the moms. So they removed...
The moms were the demons?
No. The moms were the problem. So they removed the urns.
Got it.
They did a little saging situation on them, and they went back in.
Okay.
And the demon was still around. Right.
The demon was just like, thank you so much for removing them.
Yeah, but
like
the demon was still there.
Listen, the moms are the problem. He'll chill, but you got to get rid of the moms.
Yeah.
What?
So it was so weird. So they had one of those X-ray cameras, and they had literally this like something floating above the man, and it looks like a stick figure in this camera. I don't know what this camera is. I don't know if it's a big thing in the ghost hunting world, or they were looking at the chair, and it looked like some being was sitting in the chair, like leg crossed. And the lady said, yeah, sometimes I'm sitting on a chair, it feels like it starts shaking. So in conclusion of the show, basically when they came back to talk, it was a couple months later, and they were like, how's it been going since you have, been back in there? She was like, no, I almost had another heart attack. Like I went to the hospital one night because like I was so stressed out and whatever. So the guy was just basically just like, okay, well, here's what I would say to do is go spread your mom's ashes somewhere lovely. And then, if the demon is happy with that, then maybe he'll leave you alone. And if not, then just move. What? Duh.
Just move. Just move.
Why didn't you just say that? I mean, they're making a TV show, so obviously.
Right.
But
and
like, she hasn't thought about that. Just move. Like, what if she can't? What if she doesn't have the money?
Right.
To do that?
Well, that is wild.
It is wild.
Did this just happen or something?
That was a really long story, and if you all stayed with that, thanks.
But when did this happen?
I think it was filmed last summer, but it just aired.
Oh, it's pretty recent.
Yeah, it just aired last week.
Wow.
I just needed to tell everyone.
Town.
If you want to go watch it, it's very interesting.
There's definitely something out there about my hometown too. There's got to be, because there's a whole fucking fort.
A whole fort?
There's definitely dead soldiers. Like,
oh my God, yeah.
Also, Megan, the house Megan grew up in, she would like hear horses in her sleep.
Civil War.
And her brother
in Florida?
In Florida.
Okay.
And her brother would hear gunshots, and they looked it up, and there was a great battle on the land that her house resided on.
Whoa, I didn't know that.
Just so casually, she's just like, oh, yeah.
What was the battle in Fort Wayne? Was it like the French and Indian, like 1812? Like,
I certainly don't know, and I've been to the fort many times.
Should we look it
Not
up?
like the fort as in the city I have, but I mean,
the people call
actually
it
the fort. There is a fort there.
Let me just look it up really fast. And don't worry, I'll cut this down so we get there real fast. Okay, so there's so much text here.
So is there just an answer? It was the War of 1812? Definitely not.
When you Google, do you spell everything wrong?
Yeah, I don't even try because it just knows.
I know, same. The siege of Fort Wayne took place from September 5th to September 12th, 1812. During the War of 1812, the standoff occurred in the modern city of Fort Wayne, Indiana, between the U.S. military and Fort Wayne and a combined force of Potawatomi and Miami forces. Potawatomi. So it was the Battle of 1812. Well, yeah, the War of 1812.
And it was 6 days? It
was a whole 6 days. I mean, that's
long.
A long time.
I was served a TikTok that took me down like a super crazy memory, and I wanted to ask, when you were little, did you have like a code phrase with your parents to not so as not to get kidnapped? Like if they were sending someone to pick you up, did they have a code phrase that they would tell that person to tell you?
No.
So as soon as I saw these parents talking about it, I was like, oh my God. And it all came running back to me.
Yeah.
We did. And I took it so seriously.
I believe that.
And I mean, this was in kindergarten. The phrase, by the way, was peanut butter and lettuce.
Why?
I actually don't know because it's two random things, I think.
Yeah.
So it was like my mom and dad would say like, if ever someone comes to get you from school or picks you up from somewhere, ask them the code phrase. If we told them to do it, then they'll know it's peanut butter and lettuce.
Yeah.
I took it so serious. I was terrified of being kidnapped to the point where I was barfing at school, as I do, in kindergarten. And I was in the nurse's office and just kept barfing into this bucket. And my mom's best friend, Amy, like I was best friends with her son. Like we were always with them. I knew Amy.
Yeah.
Was there to pick me up. And I did not think she was supposed to be the one picking me up.
She was in the skin suit? Oh, no, just like you didn't think that she was...
I was like, it shouldn't be you.
Yeah.
So what... And I knew her would stay the night at her house because, again, Nicholas, her son, my age, my best friend at the time, and I would not leave with her until they called my mom for me to talk to, for her to... And I was just like, that's wild.
That's pretty good because I don't think I would have done that. I'd have been like, yeah, whatever, let's go.
Yeah, no, I was like, Amy...
Why were you barfing again? Just anxiety?
No, I was always sick at school. Okay. Always barfing or getting barfed on. It happened to me 3 times.
The most wild things happened to you. You saw a man's head get run over.
Yeah, but listen to this. The first time I ever got barfed on, kindergarten, we would each take it every week. It was a different one of us that got to go up front and like lead in the weather and the days of the week. And the rest of us would sit in front on the floor, cross-legged. And Elliot gets up there.
Not Elliot.
He's acting a little strange. I'm right here like this. And he's literally saying the weather for the day. And we had this big pointer we used. And he like dropped the pointer, turned and looked directly down at me and just projectiled all over me.
Oh, no.
And I was just like... And anyway, so that was kindergarten. Then we moved and I never saw any of those kids again until I went to... When I got into high school, I was friends with everyone at all the schools. Mm-hmm. And my elementary school, if I had continued in that school district, would have fed into Carroll. Okay. So I went to Carroll's prom and my senior year, and prom king was Elliot. And I was literally standing up near the front and I was like, this is crazy. I haven't seen this kid since kindergarten.
Did you tell him?
No. Oh. He was very popular and I was with the theater nerds.
Right.
And he just won prom king. What if he just barfed right now? Like, that would have been crazy.
That would be crazy. Do you remember the first time you barfed?
Do I remember the first time
I barfed? Obviously, when you were a baby, you barfed.
Yes.
So much. But do you remember, like, the first time that it stuck with you? Yep. That you were like, this is such a gross thing that
I was
happens?
at church and I was eating a bunch of mustard pretzels. And again, I must have been early kindergarten. This was before getting puked on by Elliot and before the bucket situation. And... my mom was in a musical at the church called I'll Be Home for Christmas.
Cute.
Which I would later be in when they brought it back 5 years later for a revival, and I played the character Mickey.
Oh my gosh, love that.
My mom was in this musical. My dad was the choir director, so they were both being used. But I had the flu.
Oh no.
I'd been eating a bunch of mustard pretzels. I got that morning or that day. Then I got sick.
Those are really good.
I didn't throw up, but I had a fever. So they called my mom, my dad's mom, my grandma. And she came and I sat on the pew with her in the very back row while the show was going on. And I was laying on her lap, I remember. And then it just hit me so fast. I sat up and started to throw up. And she held a blanket up to me and just ran me out of the sanctuary into the bathroom where I finished throwing up.
Yeah.
And that's the first time I remember it being like, whoa. And I've never eaten a mustard pretzel since, by the way.
How old would you say you were?
Maybe 6.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a theory or not, but... my first time of knowing about throwing up was also when I was 6.
Whoa. Why? What did you do?
I was
heading to Florida.
Pretty dark. Oh. It was my grandpa's funeral. And I was wearing a blue velvet dress.
Gross. I know. I'm sure you looked cute.
We were in the car and I was so stressed out that I was going to see a dead person. Like I didn't understand.
For sure.
And I mean, I was 6, so I didn't know what death was anyway. But I knew that it was bad, and I knew that he was gone.
Yeah.
And so I was like...
comprehending, like, seeing a body without a person.
Seeing a dead body. Had so much anxiety. Now that I know what anxiety is, like, it was that.
Right.
And I remember being in the backseat of the car, and, like, we pull up to the, funeral home where they can let you out to walk straight in. And I just couldn't get out, and I just barfed everywhere. Oh. And then I had to go in and my mom had to clean up on velvet.
Ooh, it just like looked caked probably.
Oh my gosh.
When velvet's wet, it's not cute. Mine was at church and yours was at a funeral home. Kind of connected.
Yeah.
Anyone else 6 years old and both 6? Yeah.
So I don't know. That's
that
what are we talking about today? This is a pop culture.
Well, I brought this up about. Sorry, this was a childhood story.
No, I've done TikTok. Ghost stories, history, and now barfing.
Yeah, but it was because I brought up the code word.
Oh yeah. Okay, so not a code word, but I do think now I have seen on TikTok. You know how AI is crazy right now?
Yes.
And I feel like there's a lot of scams that have been happening where they can use people's voices.
Oh, interesting.
And there has been some scams going on where they will call a mom or something and have AI of their daughter or son and be like, I need help, I need money. And the parent just doesn't, it sounds like their kid. And so they just like wire money and then it's a scam. So there is a use for code words now because especially with
let's bring them back.
Like if your grandparents are still alive or you're like your parents are older and they're still of that generation that, you know, aren't as great with technology or really like good at understanding AI and being able to call it out.
Yeah.
There should be a code word in that so that if something like that happens, because they will be like, we're holding them hostage too. Send them money. Send money. We're holding your kid hostage. And then they'll have an AI voice of the kid being, you know, sounding in distress.
That's a continuation of a scam that happened that was really big in like 2014 to 2016. And I actually received one of those calls too. It's the same thing, except now they can duplicate voices. Like I got a call one morning at like 6 a.m. from an FBI agent that told me my mom was involved in a fatal car accident and that they weren't sure if she was going to make it, but they don't have any of her information and they're not going to admit her to the hospital. And I was like, well, my mom would not have you call me. I do not have the kind of money to wire for this. Like I knew right away, but I was like, how fucking scary is this? If someone who like an older person, like you said, or someone who may not be close to their families and able to know that there was a million other people that would have been called at first, you know?
Yeah.
But I was like, whoa, that's crazy. And now they're just using people's voices. Amazing.
Yeah, it's not good. So if you're out there and you are, maybe have a code word with your family. So
code word, code phrase.
Yeah, so that they don't get scammed.
And you're welcome to take mine.
Peanut butter and lettuce. Well, that's pretty cute.
Pretty cute.
I kind of liked the birthdays being sort of at the beginning.
Cool.
And there's not that many this week. So let's do them. May 6th is George Clooney. He'll be 63. Meek Mill, rapper, will be 37. Sadie Sandler. This is Adam Sandler's daughter. She's an actress. I know
Sadie. I directed her in The Wizard of Oz.
Oh my gosh, I totally forgot that. Do you have any fun quips?
Both her and her sister were in it. Sadie was Dorothy and Sonny was the Tin Man. Cute. She was the Tin Man.
Well,
and they were amazing. And actually the sound system was not working on the night of our first show. And I was sitting obviously behind the director's table and Adam Sandler was right behind me and he helped me fix the speakers.
Oh my gosh.
He was so chill, very cool. The whole family really nice. His wife was really nice too. They were honestly great to work with.
Wow. That's a really cool thing. And I totally forgot that with bringing that up. I am obsessed with her in that Netflix movie. Both of them. They're so good. They're so
You're not invited
good.
to my bar mitzvah or something.
Something like that. Yeah. I think it's a little bit more.
Yeah.
But yeah, she'll be 18. So good for her.
Oh my gosh.
She's so young.
Oh my God. I was literally directing her in elementary school.
That is crazy. You feel...
Yeah, I do.
Naomi Scott. Do you know who she is?
Naomi Scott is an actress, best known for her role in the show Loot.
Are you making this up?
Yes.
She played Princess Jasmine in the new Aladdin that came out a few years ago.
I know her as the Pink Ranger from the Power Rangers movie remake and also in Charlie's Angels with Kristen Stewart.
Didn't see either. So sorry.
We have beef.
But she has a great voice. And she also is in a band or something, right? That they're pretty good.
I don't know.
I think so.
I never saw that Aladdin, by the way.
Should we watch it?
No.
Wait, why?
I don't really care to. That's one that I want to just hold on to my cartoon Aladdin in my heart.
Okay. Fair enough. But to me, they're pretty different. So it doesn't bother me. Like it doesn't.
Yeah, one is a cartoon.
But I also mean like there's a couple different songs. Like some of the arrangements are different.
It doesn't have more songs from the musical.
Yes. First of all, Aladdin is so cute. in that movie.
Oh, yeah,
Will Smith. I don't know.
Oh, I do know. We thought this Aladdin was going to be the next guy, and he didn't really go anywhere.
No, I was just talking to my friend about this, that he famously after that talked about how he couldn't get work for years. I think like maybe as of last year, the year before, he might have gotten something, but this was in like 2019 or 2018. Aladdin? I think maybe 2019.
I think it's older than that. Like maybe 2016.
Okay. Well, for a handful of years, like he was not booking anything at all. And he talked about it publicly. And I think he's doing better now. So good for him.
Okay.
She'll be 31. And then Prince Archie, which is Meghan and Harry's son.
Oh, cute.
He'll be 5. How cute.
Meghan and Harry's kids are considered princes?
Yes.
Even though they're the Dutch and Duchess?
I can't.
Okay. Yeah, sorry. We don't have to get into more history.
I cannot comprehend the titles and the non-titles because their titles have been changed. But
Archie is a cute name, I'm going to say.
I think his full name is Archibald.
Not as cute.
Yeah, Archie's cute. So yeah, those are the birthdays.
Happy birthday, everyone. And if it's your birthday today, happy birthday to you.
Is that still copywritten by Michael Jackson?
What?
Didn't Michael Jackson have the rights to Happy Birthday?
Don't know.
Or was that an urban legend?
Might have been an urban legend.
Well, to my knowledge, I thought he did.
Not to mine.
But maybe it was a lie or his estate has
released it.
We'll see if we get copyright on it.
But it wasn't long enough for us to get a copyright on.
For sure. Okay.
It's time for a speak pipe.
Love that.
Not my best, but we'll go with it.
Yeah. Okay, so let's listen to the speak pipe. And then it's lengthy. I've already listened. I vetted it, you know. I have to listen.
Hold on. Who is talking? Shh. It's neighbor. Go ahead.
Speak pipe. Wow, I've never heard of this. What's up, A-List? This is Raheem from Virginia. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do an intro. I'm going to try and cram 3 things in here. Number 1, you guys ever like go back and research things that you learned in school that aren't true anymore? I've gotten into physics as an adult for no reason. And when I stopped learning, it was an atom was the smallest thing.
Oh, yeah.
And now they're saying no, like there's not even particles. They're just vibrations and fields. It's like, but it hit me so hard. Like, wow, just because I stopped learning doesn't mean, you know, there are people still learning this stuff and researching it, and it's subject to change. It just blew my mind when I realized, like, wow, an atom is not the smallest thing that they know. 2, conspiracies, maybe. It's such a cliche podcast topic. I get it. Stay away from the generic surface level JFK 9/11 and moon landing stuff, you know. But if you guys have some interesting ones, I'd love to hear them. And 3, what have you found introspectively in your own personal life that's proven to be a bit of a challenge as far as working on yourself? For me, acceptance, you know, just accepting things for what they are and not trying to change it or maneuver around it. Yeah, so thanks for listening.
Thank you for listening. Raheem?
First of all,
is that his name?
What a great voice.
Yeah, really great voice. You should definitely read audiobooks. If you're not a singer, maybe try.
I could listen to his voice all day long.
Very nice.
Thank you for sending that in. So the first question was,
do you ever go back and learn about things?
Yes. I feel like for me, I really like to learn about history. And since today is a history podcast.
Did you always like to learn about history?
Kind of. My dad is a big history buff. So I feel like I was always, I feel like when I was little, I was learning the preamble to the Constitution. I was learning
it's funny,
part of the Gettysburg Address because my dad can like verbatim like say the whole Gettysburg Address, or like at one point could. And we would go to, you know, what's that in Florida? The big fort down there too. It starts with an
Fort
A.
Bragg? Oh. No, Fort Bragg's here.
It starts with an A. But it's a very big, beautiful, like we would go to places like that even when we were on vacation to like go to Disney World or something because we would learn about that. So I've always enjoyed learning about it. But in school, I didn't pay attention. I didn't care. I was too much of a social butterfly at that point to really take it in. So now as an adult, I'm always interested in what a documentary, or if I'm watching something, I'm watching The Crown. I'm just Googling away. Like, did this really happen? Who's this person? How was he connected, to this royal family? So those things are something I am very interested.
That's an interesting question for me because for those of you that don't know, I was pulled out of school after 4th grade. And 3rd and 4th grade, I was at a private Christian school. And then when I was pulled out of school and homeschooled, everything was Bible focused. So any history I did was literally just Bible history. Yeah. So which is wild because my favorite person that ever lived, my grandpa, he was a history teacher. He was so smart, knew everything about history. But so it does make me sad when I think about how if we could have conversations now, the things that we could talk about. But I just literally knew nothing, because it was all Bible focused and that was it. So to answer his question specifically, I've been going back and interrogating some of these Bible history stories that are obviously not totally accurate. And also you just now getting into history. Now I was very into disasters like the Titanic. You couldn't keep me from information about that as a child.
So my best friend from home also went to a Christian school up until 8th grade.
Yeah.
And she would tell me about how the books would be, when they would talk about, Christmas or something, she learned that Santa wasn't real from a textbook. Christmas is about Jesus and, these things that you learn. Kris Kringle was a real person, but he's not Santa. Right. So the Santa that all your friends are talking about is not a real thing.
Yeah.
And what the heck? Also, speaking of history, a friend of mine is really into ancestry, genealogy, as is my father. But my dad calls me every week, and Dad, hi, if you're listening, calls me every week and tells me a new person he's found on 23andMe.
Love that.
But so a lot of people have always asked me, I get DMs all the time, are you Romanian? Because my last name is a very common Romanian last name. Mm-hmm. And up until I did 23andMe, I was I've never heard this in my life. Mm-hmm. No family member has ever said we're Romanian. Then I did 23andMe and I had nothing that came back Eastern European. It was really just UK, English, Scottish, maybe Ireland, somewhere around there. And then German, because my grandfather is full German, came over from at a very young age. And his mom's name is the most German name literally I've ever heard in my life. So I knew those were the two nationalities. I got no Romanian. Somewhere, one of my dad's sisters got a little Romanian in hers, tiny, tiny, tiny bit. So it was does that mean we're actually Romanian, or is it just somewhere in that area, maybe of Eastern Europe, maybe. But
that's interesting.
Nowhere in any genealogy have we ever done it. And so I was maybe someone just changed the name.
Absolutely.
So my friend did my ancestry. He was give me your grandfather's name, and then went through a bunch of records to get to pretty long ago. And it seems to be, now my dad doesn't agree with this. My dad really does think that there is Romanian, and somehow we just got here back. And there's just no records because, maybe they were living the non-record life.
Yeah.
Not sure.
Yeah.
But in this lineage that we went up on Ancestry.com, it went to someone whose last name was Flory. And then that changed to Flora. So that went back to someone in, 1700 England, London, whose name was Flora. And so I'm I feel he left England to have religious freedom and changed it to Flory, or maybe it was just Flora, and decided to change his name so that he wasn't so he had no connection to England because, the Revolutionary War was happening. So I'm maybe they just changed it, and it's just by coincidence that
that's crazy.
It happens to be a Romanian name, and he was just I'll just add a letter, and then no one can trace me back to, my British roots. Right. I don't know. It's very interesting, but to my knowledge, I have no Romanian in my DNA. Oh, I can't believe this is where we've gone.
This is a history podcast episode.
Yeah. If you don't like it, I'm so sorry. We'll talk about, Britney Spears next week. Yeah. The second question was conspiracies.
Oh. I'm tricky. Like, it's too easy. I think, again, because of my religious upbringing, I'm too quick to jump onto a conspiracy theory. So I have to be very careful.
Yeah.
Because, and there is a lot of stuff out there you can watch that can make you really believe anything.
Anything.
Except Flat Earthers. That documentary was the most hilarious thing I've ever seen, because at the end of it, they are proven wrong. And they just kind of like the
document. The horizon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And they just kind of like let the credits roll while they're all just like standing around looking at each other like, oops.
I think that sometimes people just need something to believe in.
Of course. You know? That's why religion works.
For sure. I mean, for me, I've said it before, is Katy Perry JonBenet Ramsey?
That's funny.
I know that she's not, but it is still like such an interesting, I don't know how it started.
That's a funny conspiracy theory. Mine are so dark. I'm like the seedy underbelly of Hollywood things that I hear.
Oh, yeah. So the ones I have listed are all like not, because, you know,
okay, yeah.
I don't want to go down the dark path always. So,
I love that.
I mean, obviously, R.I.P. JonBenet Ramsey. If she's not Katy Perry, but I don't know where that started, and I think it's just like such a like silly. I don't know how
it is silly.
It got there.
But you can like see it in the eyes.
Maybe just their eyes are similar.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is Walt Disney frozen, cryogenically frozen, and did they create the movie Frozen to bury the search online of Walt Disney being frozen?
I have heard that. I don't know. I guess I don't really. It's like I hear it, but there's no like. I want to see a story time on TikTok where someone goes into all the reasons that people think it's real.
Well, what I know is that he died in the 90s, and this whole right?
No, he died in the 60s.
Right. Whenever he
died before Disney World opened.
You're so right. So sorry. Whenever he died, I think I just switched the 6 and the 9.
Oh, got it. Okay.
When I typed it. When he died, a reporter said that he snuck into the morgue and saw him in this like big cylindrical tube. And so that is where the rumor started. But he didn't take a photo. He didn't have any evidence of it. It was just like, I saw him and he's frozen, basically. So ever since he literally died, this has been
that is wild
conspiracy that's
someone
gone
needs
on.
to talk to Tom Hanks.
Yeah, he probably knows.
He must.
But
he's part of the Disney.
It didn't become a problem until the internet in the 90s. I guess that's maybe where the 90s comes from, is when the internet happened and people could start searching it on Google. Then all of Google's like search engine optimization was, is Walt Disney frozen? So the conspiracies, they created the movie to bury that. So then that sounds like he might be frozen.
I mean, if that is true, whoa.
And because he was such like a technology futuristic guy, like maybe he wanted to be frozen to see if he could come back.
Yeah.
I kind of like it.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Like us in our old age and they're like, we're thawing Walt Disney.
Have you ever seen the movie Forever Young?
Yeah.
So sad.
So sad. Wow.
That is a wild movie.
Elijah Wood?
I feel like it's older than that.
No, isn't it Elijah Wood?
I don't think so.
No, that's the bumblebee flies anyway.
Did they get frozen in that?
No.
So in the movie
Forever Young is Mel Gibson.
Yes.
Oh yeah, Elijah Wood is the kid that discovers him.
Oh,
yeah.
I guess I didn't. When I saw it, I probably didn't know who Elijah Wood was.
Oh.
You're a stan, we know. But yeah, he does, and he ages so fast after he gets unfrozen. Yeah. And it's like then he's
Jamie Lee Curtis.
Oh my gosh! Wow, incredible movie. Very sad.
Welcome to our podcast.
This is the sad episode.
Incredible movie, very sad.
So his last question was, what are you introspective about in yourself?
He said letting go. That's a big one for me. I think more like I am constantly stressing about wasted time. I wrote a song about it. I have to say that every time. But seriously, I like am so, it's so hard for me to not live in the headspace of like, God, I wasted so much time doing that.
Yeah.
So I guess it is letting go, I guess, is really what it is, to like stop thinking that way. I've gotten a lot better about it with things moving forward, but I still have a hard time letting go.
I think
of things. It doesn't affect me to a point where like it's debilitating, but it is like, I just wish I wish my memory wasn't so good.
You know what? Live inside my brain because I can't remember anything. But I do feel like you have been good. I mean, in our friendship over the 3 years that we've known each other, like you've been really good at setting boundaries Sometimes too many boundaries for me.
I mean, this was my boundary year, remember?
Yeah.
Boundaries stronger than my empathy.
And also hearing like your coming out story and like how you've evolved, you know, from your childhood and your younger years to where you are now. Like you've really like accepted yourself and you're very like...
It's getting there.
I mean, and obviously like you know yourself better. From my perspective, I've always been so like impressed by that. Thank you.
I do often wonder, I'm really only friends with 2 people that I was friends with. Well, not like Heather, I guess. Out here in LA, I really only have 2 friends that I still consider like really good friends who knew me pre coming out. And I would be curious to ask them what differences there are, because hot take, like I have not yet, and this is just being honest and not to be depressing, but like the whole it gets better, I really haven't experienced that myself yet. I don't know that like there were aspects of being closeted that were hard, which was like the secret of it all, and the not being myself. But then like on the other side of it, it's like I really had to blow up my life to be authentically me, and the like transition into being me and setting boundaries and cutting people out that don't actually care about me or don't serve me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like been the hardest 4 years of my life. And I will say, because I came out in June of 2021. Oh my God, it's literally only been 3 years. The 2021 from coming out, like the rest of that year was pretty magical. I met you. I got new friends. I had a lot of support from a lot of people.
Yeah.
I really liked where my life was going. And then it's like when the dust settles and you have to face yourself, I'm like, okay, when does it really get better? Because it's still pretty not great right now.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's hard to see those things in the moment, but I mean, hopefully 5, 10, 20 years from now, you'll look back and you'll be able to say like, even what you thought wasn't getting better was actually getting better. And it's just so hard to see in the moment when other things are going on that are issues for you too.
For sure.
That like are stressors in your life kind of compound into, feeling that way, in yourself.
And in therapy, what I'm learning is, or what we're really working on is the fact that like, it isn't that shit hit the fan, so to speak, when I came out. It's that there was 31 years of compiled secrecy that like whether I had come out then or was still in the closet, like there comes a point where it's all just going to boil over anyway. So all it is like dealing with the heap of my life that was pre any of this.
Yeah.
And it's a process, but you're right. And I'm not like so caught up in the emotion of it all to know that like I know there will be a day where I'm like, oh. But I guess what I mean is I just didn't expect it to be this hard hitting, which has been like pretty wild.
Yeah.
So that's all part of letting go. It's just like learning to just let it, like it's literally in the past. I'm listening to this audiobook right now, and he said something so interesting. He goes, it's important to prepare. If you're this particular book is trying to help me with like self-love. It's like, it's important to like have systems and processes set up for yourself so that you can put your best mental foot forward when you're not in the best mental state. And his examples were like prepping your meals, even for just the next day, setting your clothes out just so you just know, which we already know my conspiracy about that.
I was going to say, well, you can't do that.
And he goes, and don't forget that thinking about what's going to happen tomorrow or how something is going to play out is a silly thought to have because it's literally fiction because it hasn't happened. And I was it's literally fiction because it hasn't happened. I have to keep telling myself that.
Yeah, that's good.
I can obsess over what people are going to say or think about anything, but it doesn't matter because it literally has not happened.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And so saying the word fiction is what like, it made me like connect to it. I was like, it's fiction.
True.
I'm nervous for this thing going on tomorrow because so-and-so is going to feel a certain way what do you mean? It's fiction. Yeah. It hasn't happened.
Wow. That's good.
Feel free to take that.
I will. Well, for me, something I have learned about myself is like anxiety is real. But growing up in where we grew up in the Midwest, and people don't
also
like to acknowledge. That time. People don't like to acknowledge mental health problems, small or big, because it's like admitting having a problem, I guess,
or weakness.
I don't know what it is. If it's just like also our parents' generation, I'm sure there are some exceptions to the rule, but like I feel like that generation really is averse to therapy or taking medication for anxiety or like ADHD or whatever. I feel like I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just not talked about, a taboo thing that you just don't admit, I guess.
Do you think too there's a level of like our parents were raised by like their parents were raised out of depression parents who then it became very about appearances and putting your best foot forward and put with a smile on your face.
Yeah.
And so our parents were raised very like, don't behave, be good. And so we got that.
Yeah, for sure. And I feel like looking back on my life, there are so many times where I now know that, things I was experiencing was anxiety or like depression or depressive period. Yep. And now knowing that and being able to apply that now and be like, no, that is a real thing. And like, you are allowed to feel that way, and allowing myself to feel those feelings and then work through them rather than suppress them and be like, no, you have to put a smile on and you have to be, a happy girl for everyone, which I do like to be a happy presence in people's lives. Yeah. But it's also like, sometimes it's okay to say I'm not okay. Yeah. And that's something that I've learned. And then also being on the internet aids to that, but also then trying to love myself in the moment is hard because, you're always working to better yourself and you always want to look ahead of like what you can be or what you want to get to. But you also have to love yourself in the moment because then you're never going to get to that because you just like are in this state of hatred of yourself. And
that is a hard cycle. It
becomes so overwhelming that you can't even continue on forward. And I feel like especially being on the internet has made that something I have to be aware of, and it ebbs and flows. Like sometimes I'm very confident in myself and sometimes I'm not. But
it does force you to have to face it regardless.
Yeah.
Whereas if you were living a life not on the internet, you may suppress those emotions way more than you can now because you're faced with it.
Yeah. Well,
daily.
it's different. I've always said this. Before I was on the internet, if people had something to say, they really weren't saying it to my face.
Well, right.
If someone thought I was ugly or whatever, they were just like either saying it behind their back or they were just thinking it to themselves. And they didn't have the like balls to say it to my face. But now, and I'm not, ugly is just like a generic thing, but like whatever someone has negative to say about me, now they can just say it to my face because they are behind a screen.
They can hide.
They don't know. Like, I don't know who they are.
Right.
So that difference is such a terrible thing that people do.
Yeah.
And learning how to love myself in the midst of that.
I should share this
book
with you.
Even the demons that I have in my demons. Wow. Full circle. That I have in my head saying negative things. That's one thing. But then also people say negative things to me, outside of that. And so learning how to love myself in the middle of those two things happening is something, when I can do it, I'm very proud of it. And
do you have like visual cues for yourself? Because like I am so good at sitting in self-deprecation that now it just like feels like second nature. So I've started like writing Post-it notes to myself and I'll stick them on my mirror before bed. Then in the morning I'll read it and then I'll throw it away. And I've been making it a habit. I've done it for like 3 nights now.
I like that.
It's nice. It's just like, so that the first thought when I go in the bathroom isn't something terrible about myself or about how I'm feeling.
I like it. I haven't done that.
Even if it's the terrible thought follows it right up, it's still like trying to implement a new pathway in my brain.
Starting on a more positive note.
We're trying. Great questions.
Yeah, those were very good questions. Thank you so much. I don't even know what to title this podcast because
Truly,
we've talked about so many dark things, and I'm not mad about it.
A-list goes off the rails.
Yeah.
That's this episode.
I'm not mad about it. Sometimes you just got to talk about
be real.
Death and history and depression. That's the title.
Wait, death, history, and depression.
Death, history, and depression.
But we can end it on a happy note. We can play a little game.
Oh, yeah. So back to before we were even actually posting long form, we were playing 5-second rule. And those were some of the funniest little clips we made.
They were
fun. We thought we would have a little game. We're going to lighten the mood.
We're going to lighten up. We're going to do a few rounds.
And we're going to play 5-second rule.
Okay, let me grab my cards. Yours are next to you on the coffee table.
Great.
Also, I think we don't play by the rule. Like, we just did it as fast as you can.
Yeah,
I'm not going to use that thing.
No. Also, it's too scary and limiting.
Okay. You want to go first? Like
me ask you?
Me ask you?
Oh, sure.
Allison, name 3 pet names for your significant other.
Baby, Pookie.
There's no
Honey pot.
Honey pot? You are not calling anyone Pookie or Honey pot.
I'm not calling anyone anything right now. So thanks for reminding me.
All right, moving on.
Well, did that have to be...
Hey, Honey pot.
Did that have to be me personally or just...
Name 3 things you call a significant other.
Okay, well... Babe is really
name 3 pet names for your significant other.
Well, that's relationship phobic because I'm not in one.
That's relationship phobic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alex.
Yeah.
Name 3 bachelor party activities.
Gay or straight?
Gay.
The or not pin.
Can't say. You can't say that. Okay, name 3 bachelor party activities.
Strip club, bar crawling, sex workers.
Yeah.
That's very extreme.
Okay. We're getting warmed up.
Okay, here we go. Okay. Allison, name 3 free things.
Water. That's not free. Air. Thoughts. Love.
Love is free, and people should give it more often.
Yeah.
That was good.
Water's not free.
Well, it depends. If it comes from the sky.
All right, Alex. Named 3 things that are round.
The earth. Supposedly.
Maybe.
Tennis ball and the lamp sitting next to you.
Cute. Tennis ball. Interesting. Oh, because Stanley has them.
No, I don't know why tennis popped in my head, but there you go.
Did you ever play tennis? You seem like you would.
I did play tennis with my friend Kyan for a few years in high school. I'm not very good at it. And it's funny you're saying that because Ramiro wants to play doubles this Friday. And I was like, with me? Anyway.
You seem like, you just look like you would be athletic.
Tennis and volleyball, they were pretty easy for me.
Because you're tall.
Exactly.
But, I mean, I'm sure you were good.
Thank you. Okay, ready? Name 3 ways to forget a bad day.
Drink, sleep, and hang out with your friends.
Hang out with your friends was the first one that I thought of.
Yeah.
Good job.
I don't even drink.
You don't. For the record, Allison doesn't drink.
I mean, I like she
likes a frosé, but only one. And if you give her more than one, it's going to be a bad day.
No, I'm saying I like a craft cocktail, or 2, but
I've been craving the charcuterie board and the Prosecco at that Italian place that I was at with Emily. I would love to go.
Name 3 romantic vacation spots.
Oh, Fiji, Big Bear for me, and Joshua Tree with one of those above ground, tin looking pools.
Okay. Not I mean, Fiji was on the track, I was thinking.
Oh, right. Fiji, a condo in Florida, and a houseboat.
At Boca.
Ooh, bubblegum shrimp.
Oh my gosh, love that.
They used to have these sliders back in the day, and I wanted to go there for my birthday so bad one year, and everyone took me, and all I wanted was the sliders, and they were like, we discontinued those sliders. And I was like, we're leaving. And then we went to Hard Rock Cafe.
What a random themed restaurant.
Yeah. Do you think he gets anything from it?
Probably not.
No, Tom.
No, right?
No, probably not.
I feel like maybe like at the beginning. Maybe the lump sum.
Licensing deal.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it's a lot of people's favorite movie, but it's so random.
It is so random. It's a good movie. And I did like the food there. Those sliders. I wish they'd come back. This one might throw you a little bit.
Okay.
Name 3 things that get forged.
Signatures. Valley Forge. The battlefields and likenesses.
The One Ring to rule them all, forged in the fires of Mordor, perhaps?
What a freak. No one cares about the Lord of the Rings, Alex.
Hey, that's not true. They're well received by many, many people.
Right.
Anyway, I didn't know if you were going to go like forged or like forged. So that was nice.
Foraged?
No, like something forged in flame, forged in steel.
Got it.
Or forged, like you forged a signature. Yeah. You plagiarized.
Got it.
Let's do a couple more.
Name 3 things to do in bed.
Sleep, watch TV, and look at TikToks. I kept it very PG. Actually,
you did. You didn't give the people what they wanted.
No, I didn't. You're going to have to wait. That's for the After Dark episode. Okay. This one's a little naughty.
Okay.
Name 3 actresses you think are probably pretty good in bed.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I feel like...
We don't have to answer fast. You can give this some thought.
Okay.
I already know one that you're going to say. And I think you're right.
You do? Megan Fox.
No, but she probably is.
I feel like they are doing some weird stuff over there.
They are having fun.
Who are you trying to tell me?
My mind went to lesbian.
Well, all I can think of is Kristen Stewart.
That's exactly what I was thinking. That's it. That's her.
Because you said her name earlier, but I don't really know if that seems true. She seems...
I was watching a TikTok. She was on someone's podcast, and I was looking at her being like, I'm so confusingly attracted to you right now.
Was she wearing her like...
Yeah, like a
vest?
shirt like buttoned up to here only. Like one button to cover the breasts, and then the rest is open, and you can just see her like stomach.
Oh, was it the girl who was asking her about Twilight stuff?
No, or maybe she was pregnant.
Yeah.
Oh, I just saw a different clip.
Yeah, I got served the Twilight clip. Maybe like Sandy B.
Sure.
I don't have any reason. I just love her.
Okay, I can see that.
Maybe not.
Yeah, like maybe Angelina.
Oh, for sure. Mr. and Mrs. Smith.
It did lead to a breakup.
It did. Oh. And they're in a big like legal battle right now.
Love you, Jen. Birthday twin. Okay.
Oh, here. Name 3 words you say instead of the F word.
Okay, so I'm going to take a second and tell you that in my homeschool years, the first Monday of every month, we would go to my great-grandmother's house, and she would teach us about Jesus by way of felt boards and felt cutouts, and
okay.
We would always have a coloring page at the end. This is why I was homeschooled, and we would do a coloring page, and this one coloring page had a bird inside of a bird cage and a bird on the outside of the bird cage, and the bird in the bird cage was going, "Golly whiz, I didn't know that was a bad word."
Okay.
And then we learned a lesson about how G and golly whiz were bad words. And that in place of saying them, my grandmother said, if you need to say something right quick, you stomp your foot down and you say cream pitcher or sugar bowl. So I'm going to say 2 of the 3 are cream pitcher, sugar bowl, and the third one would be fudge.
Here's my thing. Mm-hmm. All of those words are still saying the same thing.
Sure. G, though, so we were not allowed to say G's in my household.
Like a GD situation?
G's is short for Jesus. So it'd be like saying Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
So we were not allowed to say G's. Okay. And golly whiz is, I guess, too close to God.
Yeah, like goddamn. Yeah.
So, but it all means that you're saying it.
It's still
exactly.
like a frustrating
cream pitcher.
Cream pitcher.
Sugar bowl.
I wish you would say that now.
I'm gonna try. Okay. All these memories getting unlocked tonight. I'm gonna have to go talk about this on Friday. Allison, name 3 foods you eat when you're drunk.
Taco Bell.
That's it. The
Taco
list
Bell is
begins and ends with Taco Bell. Maybe McDonald's.
Yeah. Should we do one more
Let's
each?
Let's do one more each. Yeah.
Name 3 nicknames for the butt.
Booty. Ass.
Yeah.
What's the one I really love lately? There's a song on TikTok about it. That sound going around that's good googly moogly. And now I just keep thinking that.
Does that mean booty?
Like big booty.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. That was a good one. Okay, last one. Ready, Allie?
Yes.
Name 3 dirty movies.
Like excluding like porn?
Well, yeah.
Okay. Well, not that I would know any
we can
titles.
just make those up. Armageddon on.
Yeah. Okay. Dirty movies. Cruel Intentions.
Good.
Come
on.
You're giving it to me in my head.
Yeah. Your favorite actress.
Oh, 50 Shades.
Yes.
Yep. And then
there's got to be like a very obvious one.
Great question. All of Game of Thrones. But
sure. I was going to say maybe Saltburn.
Saltburn was in a different way, but yeah.
Maybe Saltburn. That scene.
That was wild.
Well, which one are you talking about?
All of it. The bathtub, the vampire. I don't know what they called it.
Yeah.
It was a lot. Wow. A lot. On that note.
We're so happy for him and Christina Carpenter. Sabrina.
Okay, well, thank you everyone for listening to this week's episode of the A-List podcast featuring death, history, and depression. And next week we'll come at you on a lighter note, maybe.
And if you'd like to send us a speak pipe, do.
Please. We love ya.
We love you so much. Happy listing.
What?
Now we're realtors.
Goodbye.
Bye.
The A-List.